Hello and welcome to Wednesday's stream. Let me just hit some enters. Go. And oh fudge. Come on. Because I am having some, there we go, a little bit of connection issues. But yeah, so Star Wars Battlefront 2, because I mentioned a couple of talks about people saying it's in a better place now. So I have never tried the multiplayer, so that's basically what we're going to be looking at today. I am having frame drops all the time. What the heck is going on, OBS? Hang on. What is going on? Connection's fine. Upload rate is perfectly fine. I don't know what's going on. Oh well. We'll just do this. Let's give it a try. So, again! It's going to be one of those days, it seems, where I'm just having a frame rate issue on, you know, at the computer. The upload rate, so I've got them on my computer that does this stuff. It's barely using any computing power. My upload speed is reporting no problems. Download speed is reporting no problems. Whatever is the problem is potentially in come on. Oh, came in at the end of a battle.
You would think these clones would have learned to take better care of their things by now.
Yet they got better scores. Try and find a new game because I could definitely like the idea of being a heavy. I need to actually better equip my characters. I don't know what abilities they have. Come on. Oh boy. Go. Um. Come on, waiting for this. Come on, game. Okay, apparently that's not going to work. Great. Jeez, those drop frame alerts are building up. Can't do anything about it. This might be the issue of getting a game. Try Galactic Assault. I have no idea. Boy. Boy. Just annoying the wait. And no one's here to keep me company.
We're all wondering why we came to you. Turns out the scavengers found an Imperial
There we
droid.
go.
One that could be really important to the First Order. Our plan was to grab the droid and fly. It's never that easy. We got the droid, but we've also got stormtroopers landing. Hold off the enemy at the landing pad and reactor control. And I'll try and figure a way out.
Enemy forces in reactor control.
Guess we got a fight on our hands.
Wait up, buddy.
Action on the landing pad.
I'm occupied.
Ugh.
Get over there.
Ah.
Push him off the landing pad. Make him fight for it.
Eh. Go, 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 go! Hey, buddy. Oh, fudge.
Landing pad's fallen.
Didn't even get a
Group on reactor
chance.
control.
I definitely like being the heavy. Why had like a shield?
I hold the line.
Enemy troops in reactor control.
Behind us. Come on.
Gotta get him out of reactor control or we're gonna lose the area. This is turning into a bloodbath. Withdraw from the sector. Fall back toward the supply hole. I've got a plan. We got evac en route to get us out with a droid fighter, but it's gonna be a while. We should be able to mount a defense at the supply hole. That'll buy us time.
Okay. Whoa, lightsabers. Wait, how many lightning bag? Oh, jeez. Come on.
Supply hold under siege. Get back.
Jeez. Hey, respawn. How you doing? Stuck. Hell. What you gonna have for breakfast then?
Hit him hard.
I am doing terribly at this. Okay. I almost thought you said eggs over hard on toast, but I say that would be a good thing, but no, okay, that's you're spewing flames. Come on. Okay, we got rid of the AT. Ah! God. No, I'm sticking me heavy. Yeah, so what have you been up to anyway? What one of the abilities I could have as a shield? Yeah, thought wrong. Oh, yay, we won.
We're clear to go. And I've got the Tory. Sure hope this piece of junk makes a difference.
Yeah,
Everyone move. Yeah.
that's... People are earning the points like anything, like crazy ones. Good level 8. The skill points, I should be able to maybe purchase an upgrade. We'll see. It's been like it's been here too hot to do anything. Oh. While I've also been trying to do a bit more stuff in Pokemon Go. It's just been slow. So trying to finish quests and I can't finish the quest. Yeah, ba-ba-da. Wait, what? Okay, that's cool. So I just seen that I didn't get a chance.
With the Death Star gone,
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are going to get one more download this year.
we need to evacuate the base and withdraw to another system. It's my call now, and
I am not the class I want to be.
The rebels are trying to hijack a walker to use against us. Delay them as long as you can. Do not let them override critical systems.
Yeah, because like as I mentioned a couple of times on stream, having heard from bits that apparently Battlefront 2 is a better game to play now. So why not? Sorry, wait, what's the O really for?
Losing control of walker base system. Move on that position now. Walker base systems restored to normal.
Oh, no, Ultra Sun and Moon are getting a download in October for the shiny Solgaleo Lunala. Looks. Yeah, because I'd seen like saying Angry Joe's stuff, him noting that $4. A good price for the game. for Battlefront 2. But yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So yeah, in October, if you go, I think it's to GameStop in the States. Yeah. Presumably here in the UK it would be Game. Oh, come on. So yeah, be a download code released in October. Starting 21st. So yeah, like I say, not seen anything for a UK.
We're losing access to the main computer.
The main computer. Removing the rebel override.
My health to build back up. What? Oh, come on.
Rebels at the main computer.
So yeah, I mean that's cool that we're going to get them shiny before Sword and Shield are released. So
Rebels attacking the computer room. System compromised.
So it's something.
They're overriding the main computer.
I have no idea where I'm going. There we go.
Rebels overreached. Their force is broken and will escape Endor to find revenge.
Jeez, I am bad at this game. Let's quit out because I want to quickly see about bits. So I don't really know what else to say. There's nothing else going on. Yeah, I'm just seeing anything. Yeah. Okay, so seeing like if you're in the States, you need the Pokemon app thing on your phone. All of these ones, Brawler. I am having the shield. Yeah, 1 second. So yeah, I mean it's not a thing we have here in the Europe. It says beginning October 21st, GameStop stores in the US will distribute a shiny Solgaleo and Lunala for the 3DS Pokemon games, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. To claim these legendaries, you will need to head to a participating location and use the Pokemon Pass mobile app to receive a download code. The same way you could acquire a shiny Pikachu and Eevee code for the Let's Go games earlier this year. So, yeah, I don't... I don't fully know the thing. So I don't know where Susie is, to be honest. Well, Discord says she is playing Minecraft. Though she's usually good for showing up. So I am abandoned again today? Yeah. They don't do the app here in the UK. We just go into game and be like, yep, I want to get the codes. Yeah, that's what you do. You go up to the till. Oh wait, that the announcement is weird because the poster shows the code is redeemable in Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, where the info just says only the Ultra games. Weird. But the legendary you get will be version dependent. So if you're doing Sun or Ultra Sun, well, Ultra Sun definitely, and maybe Sun, you'll get shiny Lunala. And if you're doing Ultra Moon and maybe Moon, you'll also get a shiny Solgaleo. There we go. Yeah, well, Susie, you... Snipers! Fudge. Freaking snipers. Hey, Alex. Let me use the V-Wing. Come on. Yeah, you can pop into the chat, Alex. I suck at this game so much. Oh heck. There you but I didn't see. Oh, I nearly had him killed. I'm sticking as the heavy. I like heavy weapons. Oh, there's an axe. But Susie promised to not.
Turn that up.
Where did that come from?
Hmm?
Ah, fudge. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I got a bit of
Don't worry, I suck at this game, so.
a... So,
What are
Yeah.
you doing, buddy?
you know the map which has the basement, which has garage doors that lead out to the sort of big open area? And
Yeah.
it really sucks defending that room. Well, I was in that room, and I was just sort of sitting behind one of the trucks.
Yeah.
That's when I saw from the roof hatch somebody, a fuse had put down his thing and started blasting through there. Did it 3 times.
Yeah, that's how many he
And then
gets.
Yeah, and then they burst the thing down, threw a couple of smokes down, and I was just still sort of sitting behind it, like so close, but like staying out of it a little bit. I saw shadows of bodies drop down. I think it was like about 3 bodies, and they started shooting into the allies, and my allies into the room that had the diffuser the bomb. And I just decided to hop on.
Where did you come from?
I managed to get 3 kills with my shotgun in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's.
However, it ended in failure because me and the last guy on my team got killed by the last guy on their team. So,
Like I say, it happened. Nothing
other-
to be ashamed of.
a few other pretty cool things happened as well. One that started with failure and then ended in complete success, where the snow house, the house, the little,
Yeah, the villa.
Cottage in the
Yeah.
villa in the snow area. So I went through the front door, and I got caught in a bear trap.
That's what Frost does.
Yep. Which was a bit embarrassing. I did not see it, and I just I was just
A
lying
good
there.
Frost places them in hard to see spots.
Mm.
It's why often,
So-
like, a good Frost player will not leave them slap bang in front of a window,
Mm.
because that's A, the obvious place to put them, and B, they're vulnerable because someone could just shoot through down at them.
Yeah.
So what they tend to do is put it to the side.
Yeah, they put it in like a little hallway bit.
Well, not just that necessarily
Just to the
that,
left.
but yeah, they. Oh, there you are, Grievous!
Uh-oh.
I'm dead. Wow, he just walked through me.
Right.
Oh, that's why his special
But,
ability.
But yeah, so my ally picked me up, and we continued down that little hallway. He punched the wooden thing with one, with a little hole in there. I saw an enemy, took them out, got got 1 kill.
Grievous!
Then I looked over to where all the gunfire was happening. I saw 1 more person. Or at least I thought it was 1 person. Took 1 shot with my gun, and I managed to kill both of the enemies with 1 shot through the head,
Yeah.
with not a marksman rifle or sniper rifle.
Bullet.
Hmm?
I was about to say, bullet penetration is a thing.
Yeah. So I managed to get 2 kills with 1 shot from this suppressed weapon, and it ended in our victory of that round. It was pretty cool.
But yeah,
And then the final cool thing that happened was, I believe it was in the bank one this time. In the archives was where the bombs were. The bombs were, well, you know, the things we had to protect. Somebody had blown a hole in the wall on the other side, and there was just one person left. I was just sort of, I couldn't use my shotgun from that distance because it wouldn't hit. So I just swapped to my revolver. And with I saw some, like, a little thing move past, and I managed to shoot right between the device, through like the metal beams on it, right through it, through the hole that was on the other side of it, on the wall, and I managed to get a headshot for 120 damage.
yep, that.
Unidentified enemy. That's
It with one shot.
Again, it happens.
Yeah, but it was just a pretty cool thing that happened. Especially when I'm using a controller as well, because normally that sort of thing is harder when you're using a controller, I know.
Especially if you're playing on PC, because
Yeah,
most people will be playing with mouse and keyboard.
yeah, and technically using a keyboard and mouse is much better than using a controller, because you can be more precise. I just prefer how the controller moves, you know, how it acts, and you know how it feels when I do stuff. Plus, I've been used to it for like 10 years now. Well, I say, yeah, 10 years. Well, 10 years. Oh, yeah, maybe 10 years. It's been a long time since I first played Halo.
Die, destroy, droid. And another one got me. Oh boy.
I really don't like destroy droids. Quite irritating.
Yet you'd be in love with them if you played as them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Boy.
Did you just jump off the side of the wall?
Well, I went up on the rails.
'Cause it kind of looked like you did a bit of parkour there and kicked off against the wall.
Well, whatever it was, I did it. But yeah, I think I just got caught up on the like ledging for a moment.
Maybe. I will say the stream is lagging a little bit on my end, but that's probably just because the internet's not so great today.
I don't care, I died by a commando droid, I did it. Oh, come on, I was lighting him up.
says Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to
I've seen
Andrew
that.
Garfield. Yeah. It's funny, but unfortunately not true, because I still believe Tom Holland is still getting his third film.
Yeah, they still said
just
Spider.
not
They
with
said
the
they
MCU.
already confirmed Spider-Man. The third film is happening. Is going to happen.
Yeah, just not with the MCU.
Maybe not, because there's been some suggestion that it might still happen.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully Spider-Man gets like one more Avengers outing and one more Spiders outing. Spider-Man outing.
Well, it depends, obviously, what they come to. Because Kevin Feige has said, that he will keep trying to. What the fudge?
Negotiate.
Sorry, but geez, nope. Snipers are. They are obviously playing on really big screens, so they could see me in the distance with a tiny pixel. Because I looked down that scope right where that shot came from, and I could not see anyone.
That, or they're using aim assist.
Really hard to put such things in the PS4.
No, sorry, I don't mean aim assist. I mean, hacking, auto aim.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, while it's not impossible to do on the PS4, it's a pretty hard thing to do because Sony are not the keenest for people doing that sort of thing. And the PS4 is usually pretty good at detecting people who have hacked it.
Then either you're right and he's using a giant screen, or it was complete dumb luck. But the dumb luck theory is... Well,
I don't know, I've been nailed at that distance for a lot, so... I think that's also the most an BSC bit as well. They have a spot they could see right in on where basically our default spawn is, and we don't have that. Backing to that mouse.
I do miss Camino. I remember Camino on the original Battlefront 2. The good Battlefront 2. I don't think you can actually destroy those.
Oh.
I think you just gotta hold off the enemies from it.
No, because I think
'Cause that's just
the thing going down is
Oh,
just
no.
a timer.
keep trying anyway, I guess.
No, that looks like it was a timer.
It was a time. Yeah, it was a timer.
It was just
like,
weird because, like, I stood there looking at it long enough and the timer didn't move. We shot it, it went down a bit.
Yeah, no, it's a bit weird. I don't quite get that bit of the stage. It's like, make it back to the ship.
Whether they're
so
boarding
you
our
can-
ship.
Yeah, make it back to the carrier so that you can board their ship. And I'm just like, well, why? If you don't make it, you still go up there anyway.
I don't know.
I think it's more of just a thing where you get to keep the character you are. So like if you were, say, General Grievous,
Yeah.
and there was initiating that phase, if you didn't want to lose General Grievous, you could make it to those ships and you'd be able to keep him.
But,
At
yeah.
least that's just my theory.
I mean, it's a... Ow. There is a close thing that... I mean, given this came out the same year, and you know the sort of stupidity of things EA like to do.
Oh, yeah.
A mechanic like that is in Titanfall, because like they give the one side a chance to escape.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But then why in this game have it where the winners can escape?
I can't. That doesn't necessarily have to be the losers that get the escape. It's just. Oh, I nearly had 2 people there. But yeah. Oh yeah, I see a respawn. It's whatchamacallit,
We'll miss you, Respawn Entertainment.
which is kind of funny because it is Respawn's game, that one. Literally, Respawn seemed to come up with a load of cool mechanics for games, and then everyone else is.
Screws them up.
Yeah, and then I say then other games just immediately go, yeah, we're going to do it, and basically claim it's our mechanic, and everyone will think you stole it from us.
Oh, have you seen what they've done with on Fortnite?
I know they nerfed the spaceship.
No, they've done a new thing.
The crossover thing.
Yeah. Phone cut out just now. But yeah, they've done a crossover with Borderlands. It was one of the areas that wasn't named before suddenly became a whole area where if you walk inside it, the art style becomes the same as the Borderlands art style. It's also, you know, the actual area is very Borderlands thematic, like, and another interesting thing about it is if you're in the area, your shields recharge over time. So you don't actually need, like, you know, shield, like, you know, potions, whatever, to get more shield. You just sit in there for a little bit and you'll gain it back within about 5 to 10 seconds. Oh, you can even have Claptrap as a backpack.
Nope, there we go.
Which I thought the Claptrap backpack would be quite cool to get if it wasn't tied to the fact that the bundle you get it in is 2,000 Fortnite credits, which is basically the equivalent
that's a lot of
of
firepower.
Yeah, it is basically the equivalent of £16, which is like, I either get the bundle or I could just get the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mentioned Alex just before you came in. Shiny Solgaleo and Lunala are coming out for Gen 7
I
games.
noticed.
It's weird because
Interesting what they're doing
I mentioned that the article of announcement only mentions the Ultra games. Yet the poster shows all 4 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's actually for all 4 games or just the Ultras.
My guess is it's for all of them, but it could also mean that you can get it. You get it through Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
No,
so
because it said, you know, available to get in. It's not just being like. It is implying. Oh, Maul! Oh boy, I'm being force thrown. Maul and Dooku. Oh boy, that's a nasty combo. But you'll get the opposite one to your game. So, Sun Ultra Sun, it's going to be Lunala, and Moon Ultra Moon, it'll be Solgaleo.
That sucks. What if you wanted the shiny Lunala, but you had Moon, and you had no one around who has Sun?
I know. But they usually do a thing. They've done it in the last few games. Release a download version of the opposite legendary.
Yeah, true. It is interesting though that they're doing it like, what, 3 months before Sword and Shield comes out?
No, it's not. It's not coming until October. It's
Not coming until October.
Yeah, it's
So, in other
October.
words,
It will
1 month.
run from October 21st until the day Sword and Shield is released.
Right. Isn't that kind of pointless? Because chances are you're not going to be able to transfer Solgaleo and Lunala to Sword
Yeah,
and Shield.
but bear in mind, Solgaleo and Lunala are locked.
Yeah.
They are shiny
A lot of
locked.
people are going to be moving on to Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
so it's like,
this is called the Farewell Alola.
yeah.
So, you know, it's
Farewell, Alola. Hardly anyone will miss you.
So no, I don't see a problem in, going for that sort of title.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't think Alola was too well received. Well,
It had some.
Ultra Sun and Moon, rather, weren't very well received
Yeah.
because they were just.
Bear in
Sun
mind,
and
it
Moon
did get mentioned later that they were actually being developed for the Switch,
Hmm.
and then the Switch took off like hotcakes.
Hmm.
So the decision was then a case of it's, what we're working on is not good enough for the Switch.
Yeah.
So,
Quality control.
well, it was more
Oh,
the Switch. The Switch has taken off like this. A straightforward, a minorly enhanced port of a DS game is not what the Switch
would
deserves.
be a bit of an insult. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they then scrapped it for the Ultra game. Well, they scrapped it, but decided to try and make use of the work they did
Yeah.
by using what they did and made the Ultra games.
Yeah. I wonder if
I mean, again though, obviously bear in mind that it has come out that they nearly didn't. Like, I know people are all still going mad about the Pokédex thing, but you have to remember, Sun and Moon nearly did it as well.
yeah.
Because technically, Sun and Moon does not have the national dex.
Yeah, true.
They have the.
I wonder. I do have to wonder how well these games will be received, because,
I mean, if it's like the way things go, it's going to be deliberately review bombed right away.
yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but like I've always said, this was going to have happened eventually,
Hmm.
just because of the sheer number of Pokemon. And the whole thing about what people have found by digging up on data. The
Yeah.
Pokemon data files are just now too big. They're huge. Oh boy. So, like I said, the fact that they nearly did it with Sun and Moon is basically telling that we were on the verge of it happening.
Anyway, yeah.
So,
I'm not really too worried.
Oh, thank you, game. Spawn me with my back to the enemy.
Yeah, that was kind of brutal.
And it's done it again. The direction that that the opponent is having to come from, the game keeps spawning me with my back to it. Feels a little bit unfair because it then just gives the other side instant back shot attacks. And I have, by the time I've turned around, I've lost most of my health.
Yeah.
No, that's not the door. So, yay, game, for having a rather unbalanced spawn system.
Indeed. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Sword and Shield. Because I think it's going to do quite well.
Oh yeah, this whole Pokédex controversy thing
It's minor, really.
It's not going to matter in the long run.
Are people going to boycott it because it doesn't have some Pokemon in there? No, because it's still a Pokemon game, and you know.
And bear in mind, it's only going to be like the older people who are going to take action. The people who ultimately matter, well, who the franchise is really aimed at, they're not going to know any difference.
Yeah.
So they're not going to understand this whole thing of, no, I don't want it because it's missing things. And
Yeah.
I just wish they at least would say how many Pokemon are going to be in the game.
I mean, it's like me saying, oh, I'm not going to get the next Call of Duty game because it wasn't a Modern Warfare title, even though this one is a Modern Warfare title. I still got the Call of Duty games, even if it wasn't Modern Warfare. Because that was what drew me in the first place. Was the
Yeah, and I know,
Warfare
like,
ones.
you would bring up, like, the films. I mean, the amount of people who say they'll boycott certain films, then look at the sheer amount of money they still go and make.
Yep, wow. Captain Marvel.
Well, again, the amount of people who said they were going to boycott Black Panther.
Yep.
Oh wait, it won an Emmy. I'm sorry,
but
but
in Captain Marvel's case, about 25 seats were pre-bought by Disney.
again, we've already gone over this.
Raised
But obviously,
the
there is some stuff that Disney kind of needs to explain. But then, like I say, this is an industry standard thing at the same time as well.
But let's also not forget the fact that the person who's in charge of Fandango, the company who owns Rotten Tomatoes, used to work for Disney.
I didn't know they did.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, the person who is the head of Fandango used to work for Disney. So that it could explain why quite often Disney films will always receive, you know, amazing reviews, whilst things like, for example, the DCUO, the DC films get, you know, quite bad.
Not
scores,
necessarily,
even though they're much better
because the one key thing is obviously, especially after the whole review fiasco that came up in the gaming industry. Like the legitimacy of reviews has been a much more in the spotlight situation. So I don't necessarily think that they may have been manipulating them, because to be fair, that a lot of the DC films I have just been like, oh.
Yeah. But it is interesting with the fact that, you know, review bombing on Rotten Tomatoes wasn't really new, you know, to the site.
And actually, and bear in mind, can I just say,
many
even though it came into effect this year, this new change, if you actually look at the thing, they've been working on it for 4 years because the algorithm they've had to create is, I mean, like, they've actually put a decent amount of the algorithm out in public to view. And, you know, it's bordering, you know, some of the more complicated AIs.
Yeah.
For just how advanced it is. And, yeah, the fact that it took them 4 years to make is actually viewed as actually a very quick turnaround for an AI level thing. So,
Well, what's interesting is,
so bear in mind, and it wasn't just done
was-
because, like, the MCU, you know, some bad stuff going on against the MCU. Like I said, it was in the works for years, and it was happening all over the place with tons of films.
but
Plus, the
first
same thing
film
would happen
that
to video
was-
games, books,
Yeah.
TV shows. It was a much needed thing. 'Cause if you actually look, most of the industry was calling for that sort of thing. So, I think it just
It is-
people just got annoyed because of the timing. But then I think
Yeah.
people would have been annoyed regardless of what it came out alongside. If you get what I mean.
Possibly, but I
But
think it might
obviously,
have been less.
MCU is a high profile thing, so
Yeah.
it just happened to come across probably the highest profile thing they could have put it out alongside.
Yeah.
But
Which is
like I say, at the same
the-
time,
yeah.
but I say at the same time, apparently, you know, I think they obviously, once it was ready to go, they didn't want to hold it back. I mean, geez, I've saw like some stuff with Infinity War getting review bombed because of the ending.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, like I say, something like that, like I say, was needed. It was always going to cause a little bit of controversy when it was rolled out. I just take the whole thing of, look, it was needed, it came out, deal with it.
Yeah. But it does. But that whole thing doesn't explain like the actual critics' review rather than the audience scores with when it comes to like Disney things versus other things. If you
Yeah,
look at basically everything Disney, none of the scores are really like terrible. They're all really high. Like the majority of them are like really high. I think the only one in recent years that wasn't high at all was that Nutcracker film that they did a few Christmases ago.
jeez.
Whereas, like, if you compare it to, say, like some other films that would probably be considered much better than some of the Disney products.
Although,
you know,
bear in
films.
mind, obviously, I only ever really see the reviews that are done over here.
Mm.
And, well, again, like, if you look at the recent Hellboy film,
Oh god.
there is a bit of, well, there is, like, say, a bit of disparagement in the reviews.
Mm.
Critics just completely destroyed it, whereas, you know, the fan reviews are sort of on the fence.
Yeah.
And the big critic complaint, it doesn't live up to the standards that the MCU set up. And that's something the producer of, the executive producer of Hellboy called out. That he actually views the MCU as actually been more harmful for the film industry than beneficial.
They set a new standard.
Because everyone expects comic book films to be that.
Yeah.
While
Oh,
which
not
DC
everyone. I mean, if you look at Deadpool and Logan.
yeah, but those are like the R-rated. You know, those are R-rated things. Whereas if you look at like your standard films, you know, your bog standard films, like when you look at it, DC are, you know, obviously have been trying to just duplicate Marvel. So
Except they're trying to rush it. That's the problem.
yeah, which are there. But the point is, though, even though DC hasn't never got as good reviews as Marvel, they still been, you know, given leeway because they are conforming to what basically people expect, what the critics expect from a comic book film now. At least, you know, a mainstream comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like I say, films like Logan, Deadpool, and there's a couple of others, because of that, they are meant at a higher rating. They're given obviously more leeway. Plus the Marvel name as well.
Yeah.
But so like I say, with the Hellboy actor, it says because, and that's even a thing that a fair few people, even in the public, complained about Hellboy, that it didn't function the same way that Marvel movies do. Because apparently, or a DC film, because everyone assumes those are the only two comic book companies that exist.
Yeah. To be fair, that's almost the case nowadays anyway, because comic books are dying, and well, the only ones who can really afford to keep on making comics nowadays are DC and Marvel. Some are still able to, but
I mean,
the comic book industry is
IDW,
a dying industry.
IDW and Boom still do pretty well.
I've not heard of those, to be fair.
IDW does the Transformers comics.
Okay.
Boom publishes actually quite a large amount of licensed stuff, which the main thing, which I read, is the Power Ranger comics.
Alright.
Yeah, because they're the ones who did Shattered Grid.
I've not heard of those. I mean,
Yeah, they've
I've
got
Shattered Grid, but I've not heard of them.
Boom Studios are the ones who did it. IDW are also the studio that has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nowadays, anyway. I mean, technically it's licensed to them from Nickelodeon, because they own the franchise.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean, though. Though I do admit I want to get my hands on some of the Transformers comics, because they've got some really cool stuff that's been going on in there, which includes Megatron, leader of the Autobots. Yeah. Starscream as president of Cybertron.
God.
Yeah. So... well, Optimus is dead, so... at least last... oh, fudge, I didn't... oh, nice one, game! Spawned me right on the edge of a friggin' pit of death, which I couldn't see.
So, what does that mean happen to, like, Bumblebee and whatnot?
Oh, they're still around. Because, like, afterwards, the Cybertronians unified. And then, like, and you, like, you know, like, you have the Neo Decepticons. And yeah, Megatron, you know, has taken lead of the Autobots and trying to stop them. Starscream was democratically elected leader of Cybertron. No trickery or anything. He actually won it legit.
How on earth did he manage to do that?
Starscream has always had a way with words.
True, but still.
Because, yeah, the amount of times Megatron should have just done with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Why don't they just make that the cartoon for Transformers rather than focusing their time on I don't even know what it is now?
They're doing the like the recent thing has basically been the War for Cybertron, as a web series.
But because when I was with Transformers Prime and whatnot, and just before it and just after it, I was like, really.
Prime
I
was
really knew
awesome.
what was going on? But like, ever since like rescue bots and
Rescue bots is always like a side thing.
yeah, but
Although
also,
apparently Rescue Bots is the same continuity as Prime.
and then there's also the Robots in Sky.
That's ended.
The newer one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was a sequel to Prime, which I do admit I only ever watched one episode. I mean, I watched the
Yeah, I
okay
watched,
two.
like-
I watched the first episode, and then I watched the episode where they brought Soundwave back.
Ah.
And he was still
So,
and he was still in his design from Prime.
oh,
Well, bear in mind, remember he got stuck in another dimension,
yeah.
so he hasn't had a chance to redo his form or anything.
So you didn't think the series was that good either then?
Nope. Apart from that one episode with, like I say, Soundwave coming back, where he kicks everyone's butts.
Yeah. So and then ever
Because-
since they had a
And they
were
had to,
doing
well, all I'd say is they had to trick him in order to get him to go back into the other dimension.
why?
Because he was
How
kicking
did-
all their butts and he was trying to summon all of the Decepticons to Earth.
How on earth did he get tricked back into it?
Because they managed to steal the power core for his communication device.
Okay.
So by... Oh man, there's one behind me. So
Can
by...
we get
Yeah, so they
a
just
sound
lured him in between ground bridges and sent him back. So they never truly defeated Soundwave.
wave? Yeah.
Because they did the exact same thing they did in Prime, which was force him to open a ground bridge, and they open another one right next to it, so he
Yeah.
gets sucked in and trapped in another dimension. So, yeah. Although they tried it early on, because after he emerged, Bumblebee was just basically, open another ground bridge now! And yeah, Soundwave immediately responded by shooting their ground bridge generator before they could even pull the trick off again.
Alright.
Yeah, he's not... Well, Soundwave is the sort of one where the same trick will not work twice.
Until it did.
Well, no, because they had to sacrifice their power core for that.
Oh yeah.
It was a case of... So their base was without power, and, for an episode. But, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it's an episode, because they're bound to have had their power back the following episode.
Yeah, so like, and then after that, I just never really knew what was going on.
There
with
hasn't
the
been a
series.
TV series since. Everything's been this
Titan's
web...
Return? Or was it Power of the Primes?
like I said, that's part of the web series stuff. Power of the Prime, or the Siege Saga, as they're calling it.
Was it Combiner Wars
Combiner Wars, Power of the Prime.
and Titan's Return?
Yeah.
I don't really know what to think of that. I think I watched like one episode and I was like, eh.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. So I mean, I've lost track of exactly where they are. I just know from San Diego Comic Con that in the War for Cybertron toy line, they are releasing a super large scale Unicron.
I mentioned.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that I like.
Your mission.
Except it's going to be super expensive.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like 20,000. No,
They
10,000,
said it's probably going to be near $500.
500. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's about the same price as a complete selection modification.
Yeah, like this
You know, it's a bit more
Hasbro
expensive.
are really putting a lot of effort in on this thing. So I don't blame them. Now bear in mind they haven't guaranteed what the price will be yet because the thing was still in prototype stages.
Yeah.
So
Well, crikey, you managed to fend them off and you managed to go back down to the main area.
So, yeah. Yeah,
So
I've
does
seen.
this
I
just
saw.
keep going until someone's ship blows up. Then
I don't know, but hey, if it fills out the stream time, it fills out the stream time.
yeah. I mean, like if you keep like alternating between who ends up going up to the ship and whatnot, does that mean like it just won't ever end?
I don't know. Hello, Grievous. Oh yeah, I did see Young Justice finale.
What do you think?
Well, it's an interesting one.
It is very like sad the whole thing that happened with Brion.
Yeah, but obviously, oh geez, where'd that Anakin come from? I am glad they didn't go down the Judas contract stuff in the end. After teasing it, I mean, as soon as they revealed that Tara was coming into the series, it was basically they're going to do the Judas contract, which we had a DC animated movie about it a couple of years ago. There is the beloved adaptation of that story in the Teen Titans series, and it's just no, please do not do it. And I'm glad they subverted that by having her reject.
So that was the whole thing where she would kill Beast Boy, I guess?
Well, it's not... Yeah, well, obviously the whole bit was her working for Slade.
Yeah.
But that would have been the moment, because obviously it can... I can't remember the exact thing that when she reveals like herself as the... You know, as not really being with them, but like if she killed Beast Boy, that would have been, you know, an actual Judas contract side bit where she then becomes the, you know, the Slade warrior. But like I say, they chose not to actually do that.
But instead of going down a path where Brion goes baddie.
Although technically that's basically been what he was going for since the beginning. When you think about it, that's what made him start that and trying to get... Bear in mind, he didn't even do it to try and get his sister back originally. If you remember at the beginning of the series, he wanted powers so he could be the king. He then...
Was it so he could become king, or was it so that he could kill his uncle?
Well, he didn't know his uncle had abilities at the time. He wanted to prove that... Because bear in mind, he was... You know, he thought it was basically he'd be a better king than his brother. It was just his uncle held too much influence over his brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
do, although it does appear that the advisor is sort of controlling him in a way.
They said it.
Yeah.
Because obviously the reveal of him being added to the light, and he said like he may only have mild telepathy, but it's enough to it's enough to influence people.
Yeah.
So he wields
That's probably what. Yeah.
That's why he would have actually have killed his uncle.
Yeah.
Because he was the one saying that, you know, you need to do it. He was basically Palpatine in this situation. And Brion was Anakin.
Yeah.
Okay, granted, I know, I mean, it's the best analogy because that's probably the best thing people can relate to for what went on.
Yeah.
Plus, also, I'm playing a Star Wars game, so that immediately jumps to head.
True.
But, yeah, you know, and even like when Luke had Vader beat, and Palpatine was just like, kill him.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. But
Manipulation.
I love how Black Lightning is now leader of the Justice League.
Yeah, that was an interesting plot point.
Yeah, I
Didn't
mean,
expect that to happen.
he is. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how they are giving all this screen time to characters like Black Lightning. They've made a big deal of Batwoman in the finale being around.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made a couple of cameos in previous episodes, but she'd never been, she was never focused on, by name or anything, so I'm wondering if that means they're going to give her a decent bit of screen time next season.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, Black Lightning's only got this high of screen time because of his series, clearly. Has elevated him into into the... Because he was basically, a D-list character, maybe even lower in the DC comic lines. Because obviously
heavily focused on.
A is Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, and other sort of, major Justice League members.
Yeah.
B tier probably does actually build most of the sidekicks for them. And, other sort of bits like the Flash and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Black Lightning was... He's a pretty low tier character. So, him getting, like, this much focus is clearly because he is in the public... he is much more known of now because of his series.
Yeah. I think this series of Black Lightning might also heavily influence the TV series as well, because if this whole series has all been based around Markovia in a way.
Yeah, because they've been setting it up.
Yeah, and that's what they're setting up currently in the series. So does that mean that we're going to get Geoforce?
I don't think they'll do Terra because they might want to reserve her for Titans. I mean, even though Titans is not in the same universe, and they've now confirmed Black Lightning is Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Because he is going to be in the crossover. I hope that means we have the Monitor appear in Black Lightning before the crossover, because they need to get that set up.
Yeah.
Flash has been teasing Crisis since episode 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arrow, Supergirl, it's been basically the thing since Elseworlds.
Yeah.
And they have said that the Monitor is going to be appearing in, I think it's like 10 episodes across all 3 shows. Because Flash, he's appearing in episode 2. I believe it's episode 2 he's meant to appear. They have said what episode... they have confirmed a Supergirl episode he's going to appear in. I do not remember which episode it will be, though. And then obviously he's going to be appearing several times in Arrow. But they have... I think they've said he's going to have at least 2 appearances in Flash and Supergirl each. So maybe more. So yeah. And then, like I say, they need to put him in the Black Lightning to get him set up for appearing.
Yeah. It's rumored that the Outsiders might also join Black Lightning. I mean, if you think about it, there are all those meta-humans in those pods.
Yeah. I mean,
Some of those
everyone's
could
been
easily be the Outsiders.
everyone's been hoping for one particular character to emerge.
Are you talking about Black Lightning's apprentice?
Yeah. Everyone wants Static.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think...
Static is a fan favourite character anyway. I mean, heck, he got his own TV series back in the day. Yeah. The old DC Animated Universe TV series. which was Batman the Animated Series, The New Adventures of Batman and Robin, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, and then you also had Static Shock. So, yeah. And the Zeta Project was also part of it, although that was kind of a weird one. It kind of sat on its own at the same time, but it was part of it.
Interesting that Black Lightning wasn't part of that, but maybe that's because Black Lightning wasn't a thing until...
He's a lot old, but he is a really old comic character.
Or Black Lightning or Static Shock?
Black Lightning. Static was fairly new to DC at the time. He was not actually a DC character. He was from a comic company that they bought. Not the same one as Blue Beetle. Like the original Blue Beetle. Because that DC had owned that one for a long time.
Yeah.
Because the first Blue Beetle is the one that DC bought, and then they created the other two.
Yeah.
So, they've also then, but yeah, they then decided. I can't remember when in the comics, but yeah, they bought Static. Well, the company that Static is from, or at least like they were selling off stuff. And they decided, because of his similar power set to Black Lightning, to basically have him be mentored by Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Because Black Lightning's thing has always, for a long time, has always been about focusing on retirement.
Yeah.
So, like, his sort of, like, final act is sort of, like, mentoring, like, someone with a similar ability to take over from him. Because, obviously, his daughters, their powers are not quite the same, whereas Static is pretty much on point.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which is why everyone got excited in Season 2 of Young Justice when it was announced that Static was joining the lineup.
Yeah.
And then, although a bigger deal was Blue Beetle.
Yeah. I will say though, sometimes in Young Justice there are characters that I just don't remember, and it's like, wait, who's this again? Mainly is Will Harper.
One of the many support characters for Arrow. Of the Green Arrow.
And I was just like, wait, who's this guy again?
Roy Harper.
Yeah, I know, it was Roy Harper's clone, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the Red Arrow, Speedy.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just like, oh wait, he's the Red Arrows, like with the cat woman thing, and it's like
Cheshire.
Cheshire, yeah, and it's like, wait, was he really that old? Or is it just because he's a clone he makes him look older?
You have to remember they did establish in a previous episode, in the episode, in the episode's just been, it's been 5 years since Wally died.
5 years. Yeah, like hardly any of the characters though look like 5 years has passed. Besides, Will Harper.
If you actually pay, that's because we hardly see the others out of costume.
When we see Tigress.
Oh yeah, but like if you then look at her model from season 2, they have matured it a bit. But then she was meant to be towards the end of her teenage years at the end of in season 2, so
yeah. One thing I didn't expect to see is Aqualad's relationship with his
partner.
Best.
Well,
yeah.
Bear in mind, Calder is an original creation for Young Justice. I mean, he has been, obviously added back into the comics. But when they came up with him, he was an original creation.
Yeah.
So, for the team.
It's just because obviously he had a thing for
Yeah, so,
the girl,
Yeah.
who his current
Yeah, who died.
partner was dating at the time, and then she died.
yeah.
So back then you'd think. So
He's bi. Yeah,
obviously
they.
he's-
So basically, yeah. So he's bisexual. So
Yeah.
although
And
that's one thing
when I
that
saw it was
it has
quite,
been pointed out
yeah.
that they did drop some hints back in the previous seasons. About his sexuality. So I saw a lot of people give a lot of hate when that was revealed, but it's just for either A, not setting up such a thing, although time skips,
Yeah.
and B, there's like,
I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was done alright.
and then obviously you have those people who don't like the idea of seeing a gay relationship on screen.
Yeah. I mean, if it's done right, it's.
Oh
you know,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
fine.
I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of like gay support groups, like, because they can get up in arms sometimes about when LGBT relationships are shown,
Yeah.
because
I
if
mean,
it's not done
obviously-
right, if it's not done right, they get rather annoyed because it's being mishandled. They've come out praising the treatment of the relationship, that
There's
it's been
also,
done.
Mr. T from the Arrow show. That was done alright.
I mean, heck, even the way they've handled Alex on Supergirl,
Yeah. DC have done a pretty good job at handling it, though.
Yeah,
I don't think Marvel have done.
they haven't
quite
really
as good
had.
a job.
They've not really put any characters in shows. I mean, actually, Runaways has been handled really well.
Yeah, Runaways was handled pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
you got to bear it. You have to
the-
remember though one thing. Like, it's like one of the things Stan Lee always wanted to push Marvel to do was
I think
defy what people expected and push the boundaries on, what should be done. So like, because
Yeah.
Marvel, I can't remember which of the two actually did it, but Marvel have always done the firsts for a lot of types of characters.
First
Not-
Muslim superhero.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, not always. Like, there are a couple that DC beat them to,
Yeah.
but like a lot of
Like Captain Marvel.
it's awkward there because while Marvel, it's weird
I'm
that
pretty
one.
sure Captain Marvel came before Captain Marvel.
Marvel, yeah. But the thing
No, it
was,
in like Captain Marvel, aka Shazam,
yeah,
came out first before
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
yeah. You know why that happened though?
Because
DC wanted to try and deny Marvel their own thing.
yeah,
Although, yeah, the reasons then they finally changed to Shazam was purely because Marvel's lawsuit. Because it was like, people are going to confuse it for our property because we are called Marvel Comics.
yeah,
And a court decision was never reached because DC decided to surrender before a court decision was reached. But I think the fact they decided to surrender before the court decision was made probably tells you that how it was probably going to go.
yeah. They probably had no chance.
They probably knew they were going to lose it.
Yep.
So yeah, they decided to yield on it. Even though Marvel was already running a Captain Marvel comic as well at that point. It was just although again that was the Alien at Marvel at the time.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have the confusion with the girl and what name she wants to use every few years. I think that really will be a fun thing to do in WandaVision, just have her every episode using a different some nickname or something. just to play into the joke.
That would be pretty funny.
Or she just wears like t-shirts with different character logos on them.
Yeah, that too. There's one. I will say though, I think part of the problem with Marvel when it comes to the LGBT side is that I think people, including the media, expect more from Marvel to do this stuff to the point where they keep asking like actors questions of, oh, should this character be LGBT or should this character be LGBT or should this
again,
be,
it's because obviously Marvel have got the much better presence on the cinematic side.
Yeah, exactly. Which means that like characters like Mr. T in the Arrowverse shows can go a little bit
under the
more,
radar.
Under the radar, and at the same time can then be liked more as compared to when it comes from Marvel, because you're constantly seeing, oh, should this character be this or should that character be that, and it's just like, oh,
yeah.
Just
Though one character that people did call out on is actually with Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Because
Valkyrie's.
she is meant to be lesbian in the comics.
Mm.
And they've done nothing about that. So everyone's hoping that Love and Thunder will correct that.
Yeah, but by pitting her with Jane,
They haven't necessarily said it will be Jane.
I think
They haven't said
a lot of
anything.
people-
So
this is the problem again. It's like people are suspecting loads of things. They're speculating too much about LGBT relationships in the Marvel films, and it kind of spoils it.
Yeah, but like, I mean, they have confirmed that the issue would. I mean, all that Taika Waititi has said about Love and Thunder is that that issue will be addressed, and he has apologized for it being an oversight in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He had it. He'd actually put a picture out of like his notebook for when doing it, because he obviously when working with the the script writers.
Yeah.
It was there as a thing to do, and it got forgotten about.
I mean, something like that shouldn't really be that important, really, when it comes to filmmaking. Like, I mean, yeah, being faithful to the character is important.
He didn't necessarily say. He said. He doesn't necessarily say that he has. That he was going to actually have the relationship be a thing, but it was drop a hint of the sexuality.
Yeah.
That was the bit that he at least wanted to acknowledge, that because obviously all we saw her was having a thing for Hulk.
Yeah.
And that's just the bit he just wanted to at least acknowledge the fact that she could, because one idea was, you remember the Grandmaster's assistant?
Yeah.
One idea was in one of the scenes where she was there, her to sort of try flirting a little bit with the assistant. Because obviously the assistant didn't like her, and she was going to sort of try and flirt to try and sort of just be like, "Aww," sort of that sort of teasy way. Which I think that people would have just said, may not have realised that was meant to be implied for sexuality. It could have just been like that whole comedic, "Ah, you really love me." So I think in a way it being forgotten about may have been for the better.
Yeah.
Because then people might have said that's not being done right. So they were never going to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
think part of the problem as well is that quite often you can't please these kind of these.
You're never going to please everyone anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to get those people who hate the fact that you've done such a thing in your film anyway, even if it's true to their comic iteration. I mean, again, the amount of people who hated Black Panther for it's a black guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, that's how he is.
Yeah. Then there's also the thing with like,
And then you've got the people who are
people
hated,
who got their way with
yeah,
the character and like,
and then don't like how it is.
and then they complain that it's not enough.
Yeah.
Even though
I
it
mean,
was
you got the
quite
amount,
heavy in
the amount.
topic.
You got this group of people who have complained that Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, they're complaining about the upcoming Black Widow film because female lead superhero film. No, oh, come on.
Even though we've had a lecture already.
Yeah, people kind of like to
It's
forget
fun.
that exists.
Yeah, but
And
it was
Elektra's
technically
more
the first-
anti-hero rather than superhero.
Yeah, but it's funny how everyone's saying like, oh, Wonder Woman's the first female superhero film, or Captain Marvel is the first female-led superhero film, when technically it
Well,
was Elektra.
Captain Marvel is the first. Yeah, well then you can say it though correctly for like it's the first DC studio for Captain Marvel because Elektra was licensed out.
True.
And then if you're going by that standard, you can claim Catwoman.
True, Catwoman as well. But I think
And that was
Elektra
before they
came out-
started that arc where she's more anti-hero nowadays.
But wasn't Cat?
I don't-
Catwoman.
I can't remember if that one was first. I don't know which order they were between Elektra and
I
Catwoman.
think Elektra still came first.
But you get what I
Catwoman-
mean, though. That people never really. Maybe it's because both those films are so bad. People just are like, nope.
Yeah. Elektra. So Catwoman came out in 2004. Elektra came out in 2005. So it is Catwoman.
But yeah, but bear in mind, Catwoman at the same time was a different character.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, at least Halle Berry took it well because she got the Raspberry Award for it and actually went to the ceremony and collected it. Normally, the stars of these films don't show up for them.
At least it's got a better score than The Last Airbender.
That's. But then, like I say, with Catwoman, the studio only got the license for the name. They didn't really have much else. Hence why it's kind of an original story.
The Last Airbender got 5%.
I mean, that's 5% more than it deserved.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, to be fair, Michael Bay movies make however much money more than they deserve.
Yeah, I think any Michael Bay film would be better than The Last Airbender.
At least with the Transformers films, as bad as they are, you can at least sit there, shut your brain off, and just
Enjoy pure carnage,
and
then be annoyed.
Not
when
necessarily
your favorite Transformer died.
and then just deal with casual racism.
Yep.
Like I said, you
I
can
still
just.
cannot forgive him for killing off Ironhide.
He likes to kill off everyone's favourite characters.
Yep.
Oh, and then he did that horrible Turtles film.
Oh god. You mean 2 Turtles films?
But I'm just referring to overall.
Yeah.
Because I remember after Transformers 2 came out, Megan Fox wanted to team up with him to do a Gundam movie.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think Gundam dodged a bullet there.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Although, actually, when I was talking with someone about it at the time, he may have actually done a better Gundam movie than a Transformers film, because the problem Michael Bay has in particular is he cannot characterize the Transformers.
Yeah.
So, he likes to put all the focus on the characterization on the humans.
Yeah, that's true.
He would have done fairly well with it because he the Gundam fighting style he got right with the Transformers film, where it's just pure destruction and whatnot.
Yeah.
He would just So, like I say, yeah, he could have done a. He possibly could have done a decent Gundam movie. Because he would have got the giant robot action correct, and then he could, because you only have to characterize the humans.
Yeah.
So, he may have been better suited for Gundam. Which,
True.
although, bear in mind, the time that America, I think it was actually made in Canada, but the time a Western Gundam film was made, it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
You don't even get a Gundam till like the last 10-15 minutes ish of the film. So yeah, there became a running joke about that film as well, because it was still considered canon for the Universal Century timeline.
Yeah.
But Sunrise and Bandai would basically just ignore its existence. So it became this big joke. But then in the Gundam Build Fighters TV series, they had the Gundam from the film show up for about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Well, no, it came in, destroyed, it came in proper Gundam colour scheme.
Yeah.
Rather than the colour scheme it had in the film. Took out an enemy mobile suit in proper combatant style, and then it was like, then it got destroyed by something else, but for those 10 seconds it looked awesome. But then that was because it was, in a proper Gundam anime series.
Yeah.
But it was then that whole thing of, so it does exist still. And then, of course, the realisation of, oh boy, it exists still.
Which then devolves into, oh god, it exists still.
Yep. But hey, they made the thing that everyone hated look awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got the new live-action Gundam film being made in the West. But I actually have a degree of confidence with, because it does seem to be that Sunrise are keeping a pretty heavy bit of involvement in the production. And the studio that's doing it is Legendary Pictures.
Didn't they do Ready Player One?
I don't know who did that. But they're particularly using a lot of people on the effects side and the art side who did Godzilla and Pacific Rim. In particular, a lot of Pacific Rim production crew, which in a way makes sense. Pacific Rim is halfway to a Gundam thing, so
yeah. I know Ready Player One was Warner Brothers.
Yeah. That's what I was saying, because I'm certain because Spielberg put a lot of his cameos in there.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, the Gundam cameo was actually a surprise that it was allowed to be kept in.
That was an awesome cameo.
Because after what happened last time with licensing Gundam to the West, Sunrise had been very, very restrictive about its usage.
Yeah.
So, because like Ultraman should have been in the film, but they couldn't get the license for Ultraman. To keep Ultraman, hence why Iron Giant was in there.
Kind of sounds like a similar situation with One Piece right now. After what 4Kids had done to poor One Piece, they were very tough in trusting people to do the anime justice in the West, until Funimation came along and actually did it well.
Why do you think Pokemon Company took the Pokemon dub in-house?
Yep, because 4Kids was terrible.
Yep. Yeah, back in the day, you thought it was amazing.
Yep. Heck, just listen to the freaking opening they gave One Piece for the 4Kids version, and it's dreadful.
But
Like, it's like... Hang on, let me just look up the first bit of the lyrics, 'cause it is completely ridiculous. 4Kids opening...
But yeah, like I say, it is a crazy...
Yeah, the opening was titled One Piece Rap.
Yeah,
They gave One Piece a rap for the opening.
I know.
theme.
and obviously, like, there's a
Don't give
reason
it up, Luffy.
Funimation redubbed Dragon Ball.
Dreamin', don't give it up, Zolo. They call it Zolo. Dreamin', don't give it up, Nami. Dreamin', don't give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Oh my god, that's dreadful. His name is Luffy, that's Monkey D. Luffy, gonna be king of the pirates, he's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo ho, oh, he took a bite from...
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, gum. It's so dreadful! And that was only the start of it. Look at other things that 4Kids did to One Piece, like changing Sanji's cigarette into a lollipop.
Yeah, well, that was the whole... Bear in mind that there were some censorship things that... Although some of them made sense. Like, you know, some of the editing to do with guns.
Again, it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you look back at it and you're just like, why?
Like, what kind of things did they...
Why did I enjoy this as a kid?
Like, what is that? It looks like a spring sword, like a handle. So, oh my god, that actually looks dreadful. He's holding the barrel. He's holding the handle of a gun, but it's attached to a little box with springs on it with sort of like a hammer on the end of the springs. That should have been a gun.
Wait, what?
It's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain what it is. That's dreadful. And, did they change a black person to a white person?
Why can't I claim that reward?
Yeah. 4Kids changed the color of a black person to a white person.
Oh, jeez.
All instances of ale was changed to juice.
Yeah, like I say, they did that a lot of things.
Zoro's swords no longer cut people open. And they replaced Laboon the whale with an iceberg.
Jeez.
And Laboon is a very important character because of Brooke's story arc, which comes in like many episodes later. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can see why the owners of One Piece weren't too happy with 4Kids, and then they became a lot more protective of their property.
Well, everyone kind of did.
Yep. Part of the reason why I believe we haven't had a One Piece dubbed episode for over a year now.
Oh, jeez.
Because Funimation are still working out the like a new deal or whatever. We've had 2 movies. Well, no, we've technically had 3 movies between the last One Piece episode, which was during last year's summer holidays, and now we've had 3 movies dubbed, basically. That's all we've had for One Piece. That's all we've had. I'm just worried that Funimation are actually going to do a huge skip in episodes, because they said that they want to catch up to where the Japanese subbed is, but they're so far behind, not to mention they've now missed an entire year of One Piece. I can't help but shake the feeling they are going to skip just tons of the One Piece anime.
Well, we'll have to wait and... I don't... Well, that's not my thing, so...
Yeah.
I just
Fair
want them
enough,
to
but
dub
yeah,
Symphogear. I want them to dub it.
Oh, Symphogear, right.
Yeah, I want them to
Yeah.
dub it because I just want to see it dubbed.
Isn't that the Power Ranger-esque music-based sort of show,
Yeah.
anime that you showed me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only stumbled across it because I misread its title to have the word Sentai in it.
Ah.
Because the second word, Senko, I misread as Sentai.
Ah.
So I thought it was an anime Super Sentai series.
Oh god, a few.
Best mistake ever.
Yeah.
Because it is an awesome show, and I'm just sad season 5 is its last season.
Ah.
But apparently there was a lot of production trouble throughout season 5, so...
Yeah.
Plus,
well, the
also-
animes
There's a reason it's only 13 episodes a season.
Why?
It is super expensive to have its voice cast.
Oh yeah, aren't they all like singers?
Yeah,
Pop stars?
and one in particular is one of the big ones in Japan. So, yeah, very expensive voice cast to have.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is gonna do it for today. So tomorrow I've got Final Fantasy VII, and Friday Saints Row 4. So if you're new around here, follow on Twitch, subscribe and the bell on YouTube. And now I've got to move away from my nice cool fan and melt as I shut the stream down. No! I'm gonna... If no one hears from me tomorrow, do you know what happened? I melted.
He melted like Olaf.
No, I melted like Anakin did when left in the fires of Magito.
Yeah. Wait, Magito?
I can't pronounce it properly, but you know what I mean.
You mean, Mustafa?
No, yeah, why don't I go for my Magito?
I don't know.
I don't know, why has that world just popped into my head?
Beats me, honestly.
I'm gonna have to look up to why it came into my head.
Knights of the Old Republic?
Maybe? I don't know, remembering a good video game? Night night.